officials representing anti-corruption agencies in 20 Commonwealth member states from West Africa, East Africa and the SADC region gathered in Gaborone this week to share best ways to fight corruption. The participants said one individual or a syndicate can own up to 10 or even 20 companies that operate in many countries across the world, and therefore it is important for each country to keep data of such companies, their individuals, as well as their interests.
We are trying to advance anti-corruption agencies in Africa with emphasis now on beneficial ownership. We are doing this, as I said, anything that we do, first we have to carry out research. In our research that we did, we found that there is a lot that needs to be done in this area of beneficial ownership. We are seeing a lot of projects being carried out in Africa. As you know, Africa is developing generally. Most countries are developing, and when countries are developing, there are so many projects which are being done in the process of developing our continent.
The purpose of this workshop is to equip the participants from the 20 countries of Africa. We have attended this event to deepen their knowledge on how to advance anti-corruption through beneficial ownership, transparency in public procurement. What we hope to achieve out of this event is that the participants should be able to learn methods, tools and techniques on how to access beneficial ownership data, how to analyze this data and how to use it for different purposes such as investigation. We do have anti-corruption agencies, so some of our participants are investigators. We do have financial intelligence units from those 20 countries. So we do have financial intelligence analysts, and we also have public procurement bodies.
And these projects, they do attract millions and millions, I would say, of money. And we are now seeing a lot of companies coming, either local companies or even international companies. Now, with beneficial ownership, we really want to know exactly who are the legal owners of these companies which are bidding for tenders, which are being advertised in countries in Africa or in Commonwealth. And once we know them, it will be easier to be working hand in hand with them to show them the standards which are expected of them as the legal owners.
What is beneficial ownership transparency? It is all about finding mechanisms and ways to know who are the ultimate owners and controllers of the companies. And if I were to give a specific example, companies that may be doing business with the state. So government should be more concerned to know who are the real owners, who are the real controllers of these companies. In many instances, companies are registered with government. When one creates a company, they get registered. But what we see is the registries, they will have information about the directors of the companies, about the CEOs of the companies, but nobody knows actually who is behind the ownership, who is behind the control of those companies. Those people are the ultimate beneficiaries. So where there is no transparency about who are the real owners, there are high chances of corruption, fraud, money laundering, tax evasion, and even money laundering. And that is why we decided that we will have this workshop, invite the 20 countries coming from West Africa, East Africa, Southern Africa, to come and learn the basics of advancing anti-corruption through beneficial ownership data, particularly in public procurement. They were able to learn some basic concepts about how to advance anti-corruption through beneficial ownership, transparency in public procurement. So these concepts are very critical. You have to build that knowledge. And once you have built the knowledge, you go to the next step where you are able to then demonstrate how you could be able to use beneficial ownership data to either conduct investigation. there are many procurement investigations that are being conducted by anti-corruption agencies, and that is why it's important for them to understand more about beneficial ownership transparency.